Okay, now we will recreate this cold smoke effect from this gate. As you know, in most of the sci-fi games we have this type of effects almost everywhere, so that's why I decided to show you this time how to create this cold smoke. So let's begin. First I open the content drawer here and I will make a material. I already did it, so I will show you how you can do it from scratch. So right button here and let's create a new material. So let's name it cold smoke M like a material. So I will open it here because I have to monitors, and yeah, it's going to the right one. So here the first thing which we have to do is to click here to the cold smoke M and to change it here from to translucent. Yeah, okay, perfect. And now let's begin. First open the content drawer and take the texture you want to use. In my previous tutorials in my channel you can find lectures where I'm creating these textures, for example, and you can download them for free. I won't upload it here again, so I want to show you only the way. I hope you have also your personal texture for this type of effects. So now right button here and let's write particle color. We need some settings which will allow us to control the color of our texture, and dynamic parameter here. Okay, these things are very important because we'll use them inside the Niagara later, so be careful here with the material creation. Now let's add a power. Oops, sorry. Okay, that's the power, and now I'm going to connect the texture with the power here. So here, and also let's see here to the dynamic parameter we need for arrays. So we already have here 4, and I will change the names of these arrays. So the first one will be emissive. Here the second one will be fade distance. You can choose any name you want. Camera depth here. And the color, which is the last one. Okay, perfect. Oops. Power, perfect. So now let's continue connecting them here. The power. Okay, so now let's add a camera depth fade. Camera depth fade, it's here. So now the camera depth fade will be, let's see, here to the fade length. Okay, perfect. Now it's time to add a couple of multipliers here. So hold M on your keyboard, left button on your mouse, and let's add, for example, for now, 2 multipliers here. So the first one will be the power, which will be connected here. Okay, one more multiplier here for the camera depth fade, which will be here, and this one, the first multiplier to the second multiplier. Okay, now let's add one depth fade only. Okay, and now let's connect the multiply here, and also the emissive to be here to the fade distance. Okay, perfect. Now let's connect this to the opacity here. Okay, half our material is ready. Now let's continue with other stuff. So the particle color have to be connected also with the first multiply. So take this free space here and connect it with A here. Okay, let's add now another multiplier here, and the RGB have to be in B, and the RGB from the texture have to be here. Okay, now let's see, probably we will need one more multiplier. So hold M again, and now let's connect this multiply to this one here. Okay, here we have one fade distance which have to be here for example, and now the emissive color to be here. And let's see, probably this multiply to the base color. Okay, perfect. Let's click save. Okay, our material, it's ready. I think if there is something which I missed, I will add it later. Okay, but I see a mistake. Sorry guys. So here and here we have to change them, so the emissive one to be here and the faded distance to be here. So it was my mistake. Okay, that's much better. Now let's click save, and our material is ready to be added in our particle system. So now let's create a particle system from scratch. Okay, so I will close this material for now. Content drawer again and Niagara system. So here next we'll start with the empty one from scratch, finish, and let's rename it to cold smoke only, because I already have cold smoke effects here. Okay, and we are in our effect already. Perfect. So here we have to find our material. So I will take this cold smoke M, and I will add it here by clicking here the arrow when you're selected here inside the content drawer. And here in the sub UV have to be 8 by 8, because we have in the texture, I will show you, we have to count how many texture we have from every side. So here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 and 8 on the both sides. That's why it have to be here 8 by 8. Sorry. Now let's continue. Here the properties have to be GPU and here to be fixed. Okay. Now let's continue here with the emitter update, this plus icon, and spawn rate. So we need to add a spawn rate number, which will be the number of the emitted particles in our scene. So here in the spawn rate, for example, how many? For example, let's start with 20. Okay, we don't have any animations still in our report, because we have to continue with the next settings. So don't worry, here in the particle spawn, here into the initialize particle, here is the lifetime of our particles, which have to be here, let's see, random. Okay, and here I write 4 and 5, because we have more variations, and some of our particles will die, for example, at 4.1, another will die at 5, for example, something between 4 and 5. Okay, if it's only direct set, that's only one lifetime value, and all of them will die on the same time without any variations inside. So here random, it's the better options for us here. Okay, now let's add a color. So here in the color, direct set, and let's choose a color which will be something like that. I think it will be fine. Okay, or I will give you the number which you can add for the exact color from the reference. So here Control V, and that's it, 96C1FFF1A, and that's the original color which you'll use here. Okay, and click OK to save it. Now it's time for the sprite attributes, which is the size of our particle. So here let's click non-uniform. Here we have to click random range vector 2D, and the values here will be, for example, 90 here, here for example 180, 180, and here to be let's say 260. Okay, now it's much better. It's bigger than before. And let's add a sprite rotation we need a variation. So here let's start with the rectangle here, and here a random range float where I will write 150 and 200. So now they are spawning in different position, like different rotation. Okay, now let's add the dynamic parameter. So the dynamic parameter, I told you already in the material section when we created it, that emissive fade distance, camera depth, they are important and they're inside our material. So here I will start adding here to the emissive to be 1, here 50, camera depth to 5, and power to be 10. Okay, perfect. Let's continue now with the location, because they're only on one place. I want from them to spawn on different places, to have variations. So yeah, now I will continue here, shape location, and let's check which one. So the box plane, here it will be 400. Okay, now you can see they're in one new line. Here I will make it 80 for example, and here to be 400. Okay, for now this is enough. Here I will change the non-uniform scale to 0.1 here. Okay, perfect. We have to add the animation from our texture now, because it's a sprite sheet, it's rendered from another software, probably Blender, Houdini, Embergen. One of these softwares are mostly used inside in this field in the industry. So here I will add now the sub UV UV animation. Here you have to activate them here to make it here sprite render. And now you can see we already have the animation from our texture. This is because of the sub UV animation. So click save now. Okay, now let's continue with the next one. So here we have to add a scale sprite size for different variation of our particles. So let's see, sprite size. So scale sprite size, it's here, and I will start here with 0, the end will be 1. So they will start almost, for example, they will be small in the beginning, and at the end they will be increased and they will be bigger than before. So that's why we're using this scale sprite size. So here in the end they have to be, for example, they have to be bigger. You can see how they are increasing during their lifetime, and the beginning to be 0. So I will now zoom out this. I will select both of the frames by holding Control, right button, break them for smooth animation here. Now I will add a second keyframe. So right button of your mouse and here add key, yeah, in the place which you want to be placed here, and I will write 0.6. so I want from them to increase their size earlier than before. So that's why I added this one here. So from here to here they will increase faster. And now our animation of the particles, it's much better, but there are still things which we have to add. Okay, now let's continue with the scale color. So now the color it's too intensive, so scale color will help us to fix that. So here in the scale alpha, we need alpha to add extra opacity to our color here. I will click this and I will find flat from curve. So here, let's see now. Here again, I will break them. I want my animation to be smooth, and this one in the beginning have to be 0. So here in the middle, I add another keyframe, which I will break as well, and I will make it 0.5, for example. Okay, now it's much better, but 0.5 it's not enough, so I will switch it to 1. Okay, and I will click save. Okay, now we have to add a drag. So drag is a friction of the effects, and it's important. So I will make it here too. Okay, let's see what more we can add here to our effects. I will click save now. So we have particle state, which is necessary to be here. So force and velocity have to be here. Okay, so drag, scale color, sub UV, scale sprite size. Okay, perfect. Shape location have to be in this way. Okay, the dynamic parameter, of course, they are important, they are fine. And here the initialize particle, which is the main thing here, it's also fine. Okay, so we are ready, I think, with the smoke. So I will click save, and now I will change the original one with this cold smoke here. So I will place it, and now we can see how our smoke look. Okay, let's see the direction is correct. Okay, perfect, it's correct. Now let's continue here. So here one more thing, it's we have to add a debris now inside the effect. So we have to first to change the name of this, so it have to be cold smoke. And now let's add a debris. So what I will do is to copy this emitter, Control C, Control V next to it, and I will change the name here to ice debris, for example. So I have to delete the sprite renderer now, because it have to be mesh renderer. We use a 3D models of this debris. So here, by clicking this plus icon, we are adding debris sections. So here I will write debris, and I'll add some of the debris which I have from some free packs which I downloaded. So here, okay, and I will delete the last, oops, not duplicate, delete. I use only 3 type of debris here. Okay, perfect. So now let's start again with the spawn rate. Have to be, for example, 320. It's too much. The next thing is the initialize particles here, the lifetime. So I will make it 2 and 3 here. So there's a cover here which we can use. So I will make them like again with the same cover. So I will keep it here. So dynamic parameters here, I think we don't need it, so I will stop them. Okay, or also we'll delete them as well. Here we have to add a mesh orientation. So here to be random orientation, so they will be spawned in different directions, not only one direction. Okay, perfect. So here is the shape location, have to be the same like the smoke, because they will be spawned from the same position as the smoke particles here. Let's continue with the next thing. So here on this sprite stuff here, it won't work because it's a mesh renderer. We have to be careful when we are working with mesh renderers and sprite renderers. So here, scale sprite size, we don't need it anymore. Okay, I will isolate only them. Here we need scale mesh size, not a sprite size, because as I told you already, it's a mesh renderer. So scale mesh size, and here I will click on this, and let's see, where is it, vector from curve, and probably it starts with 1, so they start into the basic size, and at the end they are decreasing their size to 0, but that's too far away from the floor, for example, so I will move this here in the middle of the animation, so 0.5 will be perfect. So all of the 0.5, and the third one is 0.5. Okay, perfect. Now here the initialized particles, it's the size. So here, let's see, this time sprite attributes won't work because we have mesh renderer and have to be mesh attribute. So here I will make it unset here. Also this unset because it won't work, and here I will make it, for example, non-uniform. Here a random range because I will add scale between two values for better projection of our debris, and as you see we have different variations of them. Okay, perfect. And that's for the size of the debris. Okay, now let's continue with the other stuff, which is the force, which will allow us to move our debris. So I will delete the sub UV because we don't have texture anymore, and I will add a gravity force. And now they are falling, which is perfect. Now I will start both of them and we can see how they are falling. So that's like a small pieces of ice which are falling from the gate in our level now. Okay, so let's see. Of course we have drag. I will add a random range, so for more details of our scene, of our effect, here 1 and 4. Okay, for better details. And let's see, for example, we can add also mesh orientation force. Let's see, mesh rotation, sorry, not orientation, it's mesh rotation, and random range again. So here I write 15, 15, 15. They have to rotate during the falling from the top of the gate. So 20 here, 20 and 20. Now they are rotating all of the time here, and let's click save. Now let's see how it looks inside our level. Okay, we have to move them a bit up to start somewhere from here. So let's move them. So shape location, let's see, it's here, the position of set, and I will move them a bit. Let's see. Okay, I will come closer here. Okay, perfect, it's much better. And closer. Okay, much better, guys. Okay, now let's add more smoke particles, and let's increase the size of the smoke particles because they are small now. So for example, here scale sprite size, here they will be 1. Let's see. Yeah, it's much better. And also these debris are bigger than I expected, so 0.5, 0.5 here, 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5. So here it's the global scaling of the particles, and here scale mesh size is the scaling during the animation, during their life inside the emitter. So that's the difference between both of the settings here. Okay, probably more. Okay, something like that. So scale, they will start to 0.7. Okay, perfect. Save, and let's check how it look inside our scene. Yeah, it's much better. They're smaller, they're rotating, good. So I will increase now the field of the smoke. So here on the shape location, I will increase it, the box size here. What will happen if I increase it to 2000? Okay, that's not good. So I will make it 500 only. Okay, perfect. And I think that's everything for this effect, guys. Yep. And here to be GPU, it's better for your system. Okay, and our cold smoke is ready. Thank you for watching. Subscribe my channel, like the video. If you have questions, you can write me. And yeah, soon I will upload more tutorials which will be helpful and which are directly from the game industry, and they're used most of the time by the artists.